Hi guys, so today we are solving product of array except self. Okay, so what we are going to do here is this. We have to take product of this array and store it in arms. So our first approach is what the brute force which comes in our mind is just take the product of all of it and just divide it. But here the rule is we don't use divide operator. Okay, because if we do, then if here you can just say 24 by 1 is 24, 24 by 2 is 12, 24 by 3 is 8, and 24 by 4 is 6. But the problem is we don't use divide operator. So how can we do it? We can do it like this. In the place of 1, 2, 3, 4, we have to do like this, that when we are in this array we can only use this, so its product will be this. After that, when we just travels that, okay, when we are deep we can just 1 into 3 into 4, it will be 12. Then when we move here it will be 2 into 4 8, then we move here, then 3 into 2 6, like this. Okay, so how can we do it? As you can see the code of our brute force, here we have made a vector which is ans, and here this is our first loop, which is I is equal to 0, I is less than n. Like we are traversing our loop and j, and if I is not equal to j, we are just storing it in our ans and multiplying it and storing it in our ans. But the problem is here we are taking big O of n square time complexity. So how can we reduce this? For this is our approach for better. We can say better or we can say optimized, because let's see. So here we are taking vector prefix and vector suffix. So what we can do here is, like for prefix we are taking from here, and for suffix we are taking from right to left. Okay, so when we want to store prefix, what we can do, we can just see in the right side and just multiply it. Like here we can say that the in the right of 1 is nothing, so it is 1 only. Then in the right of 2 it will be 1. Okay, it will be 1. Then the right of 3 is this 6. In the right of 4 is 3. So we just store it, okay, in the prefix. And what if when we do it in suffix, then we know that this is n minus 1. So in the left of n minus 1 is nothing, so it will be 1. After that 3, left of is 4. After that left of 2 is 3 and 12. After that left of 1 is 24, like this. Okay, so what we have, like this is not the correct prefix. Okay, so the correct prefix will be when we are doing for I of 0, it will be 1 only. Okay, this is correct. But for 2, when we are doing, it will be product of 1, which is 1. After that product of 3, the product of 3 will be, for 3 it will be 2, because 2 into 1. After that for 4 it will be 6. So this is our correct prefix for this. Okay, now the code of our better approach is we have made one vector which is prefix, and we initialize our prefix of 0 as 1, and then we have just start our loop from I of 1 to n, we just traverse it, and prefix of I is equal to prefix of I minus 1 into nums, as we are doing, you can see in the diagram. Then we have created suffix n minus 1 is equal to 1. Here we have done that. In we have taken our loop from backward n minus 2, because we know that n minus 1 is 1 only. Then from till 0 and I minus minus, then suffix of I is equal to suffix of I plus 1 into suffix of n. And after that, what we are doing, we are just store them in the ans vector. But here the problem is that our time complexity, because like space complexity, our time complexity is O of n. Okay, because here we are using O of n, here we are using O of n, here we are using O of n, and total is big O of 3n, which is approximately big O of n. But the main issue is our time complexity, as we are using two vectors which are prefix and suffix. Okay, but we don't want that. So what we are doing is, for optimized approach, like for reducing the space complexity, what we are doing is we can just store our prefix and suffix in the ans only. Like here we are just storing and multiplying, okay, in the better approach. But in our optimized approach, what we are doing, we are just multiplying, so it will just store our space complexity. Okay, so what we are doing, like we are here, we have 1 2 3 0 1 2 3, so we are just storing it in our prefix, and on here only we are storing it, like multiplying it with suffix. Okay, we don't store suffix in ans, because if we store suffix in our ans, then it will be completely a messed up situation, because everything will be mixed. Like for here we can say that for for 1 2 1 2 3 4, it will be like this, that we take prefix as 1 1 2 and 6, and for suffix what will we take it as 1, and after that what, 4 into 1, it will be 1, so 6, and then just take it as, for 3 it will be 4 into 2, it will be 8. After that, for 3 it will be 12, so 12 into 2, 12 into 2, 12 into 2 will be 12 into 1 will be 12, and 24 into 1 will be 24. So this is our suffix. Okay, now this is our code for optimized approach. Here we are taking only one vector, which is ans. We take only one traversal, which is I is equal to 0 to I is less than n, and here we are storing, like we are just multiplying ans is equal to ans I minus 1 into nums of I minus 1, so we are storing it on like we are just multiplying our prefix, and we are not storing our prefix, so it will just reduce our space complexity. Here we are using a variable name suffix is equal to 1, and int I is equal to nums of n minus 1, n is less than equal to 0, n is greater than equal to 0 suffix, and then just doing it suffix into nums of I plus 1, and just storing it in our ans of I. Okay, in our ans vector, so it will just help us to store in our ans. Yeah, so for this code, our space complexity will be O of 1, which is constant, and O of n time complexity. Thank you.